So his letter said, I understand that you have been teaching DEI at Georgetown. Doesn't define what DEI is. And unless I'm satisfied that you stop teaching DEI, I'm not going to hire your graduates and I'm not going to have internships for your students. And when I first saw it, I thought it was a hoax. The stationery says United States Attorney Edward Martin, and he wasn't the U.S. Attorney. He was the interim U.S. Attorney. And I worked for many years for the Department of Justice, and people take seriously their title. If you're an interim U.S. Attorney, you don't send U.S. Attorney stationery. And then there were no legal citations. So my first reaction was that this was a hoax. I talked to my wife and I said, it's clearly the right thing to push back. This is unconstitutional and it's simply unacceptable. And I have to say, whenever I do kind of major letters or statements, I always run them by her to get her input. And she said, I think it makes all the right points. She said, I have one suggestion. I said, what's the suggestion? She said, you shouldn't call him U.S. Attorney because he's not U.S. Attorney. Call him interim U.S. Attorney. And you should do that several times. And so I made that change. Now, I have to say, in all candor, the one thing that has annoyed me a little bit is that when people tell me their response to the letter, what I hear again and again is, the letter is great. And you know what I really liked? And they don't talk about Jesuit values or academic free speech. They say, what I really like is the way you refer to him as interim U.S. Attorney. So that's Allison's contribution. I want to give her credit for it. But I have to say, it's a little bit annoying to me that that's what people again and again will focus on as the thing they like the most about the letter.